Shalom, shalom, family. Thank you so much for joining us here at Remnant House, the home of the strong and the very courageous. And of course, we have to stop what we're doing, stop and interrupt so that we can do the Evangelist Corner. Now, again, normally we do this interruption on Yom Rishon, Yom Ahad, the first day of the week. And occasionally something interrupts our interruption. And so we have no choice but to reschedule it. And it happens. Thank you for your grace. Thank you for being gracious to us. And I'm always grateful when we get these times together. And it's a good time for us to reflect, to take a moment to step back, take a look at what we're seeing, take a moment to assess the real circumstances that we find ourselves in. Many, many times I see people enacting a plan that doesn't really impact what they're in or the situation they're in. So like I like to say, sometimes I find them in one of three places. Either they have no plan, they're in search of a plan, or they're executing a bad plan. And so we're taking a hard look at the things that have been done over the last several decades, right? To reach the generations. We're seeing a massive, massive decline in society. And so we have to ask new questions. Have the things that we've done worked? What's the fruit? Joining me for this conversation is my brother, David Colon. And it's always a pleasure to have him with. David, thank you so much for joining us today for this conversation about, well, fruit results, right? We're going to be talking about
absolutely. Yes, sir. And it's something that we're searching long and hard for, and it's been a little fuzzy trying to find it, but I trust in Elua Hayam, and I trust that he will work this out.
Well, he continues to show us new things, right? Shalom, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. Come on in. Yes. We love you all. So good to see you all. We love you so much. Appreciate you popping in and sitting in with us. It's always a pleasure. And we have to pay attention to what Yahuwah is doing. He's always doing something. And in every generation, just like that pillar of fire and pillar of smoke, we have to stay with when he's moving. So if he gets up and moves, we got to get up and move, right, David?
Absolutely. Or you're going to get left behind.
Or you're going to get left. You better get right before you get left.
Right before you left.
All right. And how many know that some people's get up and go, got up and left? And they don't move. They don't go. And so what we found ourselves in a position, and this is something that many of you in ministry probably know a little bit about, where you're constantly teaching. You're teaching and you're teaching and you're teaching. Right. And you're going, why isn't my teaching working? Well, because it's not agreeing with your teaching that may be the issue. One of the things that we know in this house is that discipline is where hypocrisy goes to die.
Bingo.
So it's one thing for you to know the truth the right way. But how many know this is when the disciple, the disciplined one, doesn't just hear the word, but does it? David, talk to me. Talk to me, David.
Well, listen, man, we can talk about how we want to go out and get people saved. We can talk about how we want to get healthy. We want to talk about how these things are going to happen and those things are going to happen. But until you put one foot in front of the other, absolutely none of that is going to happen. So it is all about execution. It is all about stepping out in faith, believing that he will meet you there.
Well, it is about believing that he'll meet you there, isn't it? And it's also about meeting yourself. Listen, when you are disciplined or disciplining yourself, there's no one there. There's no crowd. There's no likes, no loves, no claps, no nothing. Yep. It's just you in the hard dirt. just you in the bike path if you're doing that, or the running path or whatever
Right.
you're doing to discipline your body and buffet your body, right?
Yes.
And we come from a disciplined family, the mishpachah, that have left us the scripture, fasted twice a week, disciplined themselves. Many of the records we read of our ancestors were a disciplined people, a people that they didn't do what they felt like doing. They did what they had to do.
Right.
Felt like. What you mean felt like? Mira tú. Felt like. ¿Qué es eso? What you mean felt like?
That's what children do. I mean, come on, you got to stand up and be an adult and do the adult things, right?
And we live in a nation that was built by adults, okay? Bridge builders, all right? Building builders. I mean, things that are amazing structures and wonderful airports and massive construction projects, right? Real people had to do that. Real work had to be done for those things that we all take for granted and enjoy. All right. And I think that one of the things that we've come into, David, is a society that doesn't appreciate hard work. What do you think?
Oh, absolutely know it for a fact. They came into everything. It's like it was already structured. It was already there. They didn't really have to do anything. So now they think that they can still get away with doing nothing.
Yeah, that does seem to be pretty prevalent. And I don't think you're picking on anybody when you say that.
No,
I think you're saying we all recognize that the pace that people move at, the manner in which they move has dramatically shifted. Now, I have some theories on why I think that's happened, but I love your thoughts, David. Why do you think because we've been watching this a hot minute, okay? So, and I think in terms of these decades of the 80s and the 90s and the 2000s and then the teens and now the 2020s.
Yes.
What are you seeing as shifting? Because we're going to address some things here, but I want to take a look at it from your perspective. You've lived through these things, and you're my elder cousin, so you tell me, what did you see? You always tell me ahead of time. What's going on up there?
I have seen a generation grow up in complete convenience. Complete, everything handed to them, or not necessarily everything handed to them, but instant that, right at your fingertips. You never really had to go and really work for it like your ancestors did when they had to go out and milk the cows, when they had to go out and shovel the hay, when they had to go out and shovel the poop. Okay, we didn't have to do any of that because we came in at an age where it was complete convenience and complete, I hate to say this, man, soft.
Well, I don't think it's true all across America. I mean, there's probably a lot of farm kids that are listening that are saying, hey, wait a minute, I had to shovel poop, and I had to do that. So there were segments of our society that still had work ethic, but we certainly saw that shrink. And I think inside the concrete jungles, inside the mochaccino worlds, as I call them, I think that's where you really saw the decreasing work ethic and what have you. I mean, there's no way to get away with it on a farm, but you can run away from it in the city.
Because now you have the supermarkets, feeding you your food. You didn't have to go out and work for that. All you had to do was go and pay for it and bring it home. That's probably the worst that you had to do is bring it home, put it on the shelf, put it in your refrigerator, do what you have to do. Right. I'm not picking on anybody because we all grew up in this.
Right. That's it. It's just the world we live in.
Yes. But I do think it has demotivated a lot of people.
It's definitely made us soft. So now that people are going back to the land, so now that they're like, hey, we gave away too much. Right.
Yes, we gave a lot of sovereignty.
We just read another thing about lab grown dairy products. And now you got to look really closely at labels and so forth, right? So, okay, without getting too far into all of that, guys. So
we can jump down that rabbit hole.
We could go down that hole forever, right? So rather than do that, what we're noticing, of course, people are waking up. They're buying their meat from actual, cattlemen, right? So they're buying cattle, then butchering it together. They're doing things differently. than they used to do them, because they're starting to realize, and I think a large part across America, people are asking new questions. But this means different costs, doesn't it, David? It means a whole different economy.
Absolutely. It's I mean, you're talking about having to grow food to that's going to be nutrient dense,
It is.
stuff that stuff that hasn't been saturated by chemicals and your chemical washes on those salads that those pre-prepared salads you're eating, bleached, all kinds of stuff going into that. And again, let's not get down that rabbit hole, but yes, it's something we've given away our sovereignty, and now we realize that we need to take it back.
Right. And so that's what's happening, right? So now hard times are coming, because as people say, oh, we got to do this all over again, guess what? That means like it's starting all over.
Pretty
You're
much.
scrapping everything you've done before that. That's major, right? But at the same time, the next generation will benefit from that.
Yes.
Here it is. Here the cycle continues, because once again, weak men are bringing us into some hard times.
Right.
Those that didn't stand up against, right, the things that were coming in allowed us to be basically in this position that we're in. Now we have to repair it. Now we've got to say, and David, here's my question. How much of it is fixable, and how much of it do you just need to get up and leave?
I mean, there's the biggest fix is right here, right between your ears.
Well, of course,
that is the biggest fix. Is once you start going down that road and say, okay, what do I have to do now? What changes do I have to make? Let's bite this elephant off one piece at a time. Let's not try to eat the whole thing. Let's not overwhelm ourselves, because it can be extremely daunting and overwhelming.
It can be.
You just got to take it step by step and realize that you're walking the other way. This is what you're doing. That you're no longer going to hand your sovereignty over to some corporate greedy bleeps. So,
well, I heard an old saying: you can eat an elephant if you take it one bite at a time.
That's correct.
And I do believe that we can't take on this task, this enormous turnaround, very easily. I think this is going to take a lot of energy and effort on the part of people that,
right. Yes.
Otherwise we'd rather sit on a cushion, right? But they're going to have to go, darn it, I got to get up off the couch and go help this, because otherwise we're going to have people trying to run our country who can't even read.
Right.
I'm not kidding, folks.
That is scary.
I'm not kidding.
Yeah, no.
And I'm like, you're joking me, right? No. And you know how, because I do the news, guys. You guys all know that, right? So I have to look at a lot of stories. The number of stories that talk about how dumb these young people are. And I mean, I'm not being insulting. I'm saying what they're saying.
I could imagine
how you're just sitting there as a parent or as just an American, just going, what?
Yes.
What are we doing? How many of these schools do we have? And they're all failures? Why? Because the entire premise, the entire system of education that they implemented was a failure from its inception. It was a slave-making program.
That's exactly what I was going to say. Slave-making program is basically what it was.
So if you're trying to get slavery and dumb down people, put them in classrooms. Put them in this system.
Yeah.
And from the time that you will take brilliant children, and by the time they're 18, they'll be dumbed down drones, barely able to read. Look at that. You took them backward. They probably could read better.
Mm-hmm. Well,
David, I'm telling you what.
And that whole coddling thing of, so you're failing at this. Oh, that's okay, honey. Just come on over here. We'll just give you a little trophy. Just come on. Let's keep this moving. And that's where the disconnect really is. I
heard somewhere that's insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. Is that correct? Are these supposed to be intelligent people?
Yes.
So we have a massive inversion of reality that we are now having to invert. And this is the crux of evangelism. Now, hear my point, people.
Yes.
Because you see, what we're pointing out in any particular area, we can do it in health, we can do it in food, we can do it in clothing, we can just pick anything.
Right.
Start pulling it apart, start seeing the fake, right? So do they. So do the people that have earth. Everybody you show it to, your relatives, everybody, they all see it. The question is, what is the remedy?
Right.
Imagine the evangelism opportunities if you were standing there with the remedy.
Oh, yes.
Imagine the number of people that would say, wow, look at you guys go. You guys are solving problems. You're not standing around just talking about them. You're not standing around just describing how bad it is. Man, we got 4 guys standing around a can down in the alley with a fire singing the blues. You going to join them?
We got enough of them on Facebook, okay? I mean, come on.
Standing around a can, making a fire like this, singing songs in the dark. Is that what you want to join them for that, or you want to get on up and move?
Move, do something, yes.
Okay. And I mean, even the world knows this. Even the people in the world know. Okay. Even the most carnal people you ever meet. And they will be like, you can't sit here. You got to get up. You got to do something. You can't just sit here.
You can't just sit here. Yes.
Okay. So we have a disconnect, David. And this is what I began to see. Because we got big heads on doctrines and ideas. It's like having a head full of recipes. And you don't go in the kitchen.
Right.
When was the last time you went in the kitchen and made anything? And you're going to go to another recipe class.
Untested recipes, yes.
You're going to but you're going to another recipe class. You already got a whole library of recipes. You don't even cook, but you got a library of recipes.
And listen, I've forgotten more recipes than most people know.
I'm not talking about cooking. I'm talking about doctrines that are supposed to produce results. Excuse me. My wife doesn't know I'm on the air. Sorry. These are doctrines that are supposed to produce results. And unfortunately, they're not.
Yeah.
Okay? They're not producing results. What are they producing? Just more doctrines. We get together, we have a conference on doctrines, and then we decide we're going to talk about more doctrines, and then we're going to get together and we're going to have more doctrines because there's a lot of doctrines we got to go over. And then, oh boy, we have got to we've got to do the doctrines because then there's the other doctrines that I got to do. And it's like a debate on recipes.
Yes.
Does anybody get any fruit in this hole? Anybody? Anybody get any fruit? No? No real fruit?
Results, anybody? Yeah.
I mean, so I told Mindy, hey, I'm on the air. Stop bothering me. She's going to go, oh, oops. She went to town to go do some things and errands, and she lost track of time. So
I told her to. She texted me earlier and said, or it was like a couple days ago, and I told her it's going to be Tuesday. So,
a few people forgot. It's all right. You guys can double back and pick it up later and all that good stuff. We just like to make sure we interrupt the interruption of the interruption. That's it. But seriously, if you have solutions and you're standing there and saying, hey, I got a solution to this problem. This is presented by the Remnant, Hey, you don't have good food. Look, and the Remnant have good food over here. How many know that speaks to people because you're presenting the solution? In my opinion, this is what Mashiach meant when he said, let your light so shine before men that they would see your good work and give kavod to your Father in heaven. When he said, let light shine, he's talking about brightness of mind, intellect, wisdom, clever design, clever understanding of things, right? These are all things that are part of the light of men, the light of men, the light on the mind that he gives you.
Yes, absolutely.
So if you're not producing fruit, if all you're doing is walking around debating recipes, so at some point you're going to actually go in the kitchen, right?
Right.
Because otherwise, all you are is a hypocrite.
Right.
And it's not teaching that solves that. It's discipline.
Mm-hmm.
There ain't no shortcut for that. It's called push-ups, sit-ups, eating, not eating, fasting, praying. There's things of discipline that there are no shortcuts for. So you could talk all you want. We are going to watch and see your discipline level.
Yes.
Now, some people are disciplined in their undisciplinedness.
Well,
They're very committed to being lazy, right? They're very devout. I knew a guy who knew exactly where to go to get free breakfast every day. He had a route, and he had certain spots, and he knew that if you go to this spot, he got a free breakfast. This guy had lazy down, man. He had it down. He had it on a route. I'm not kidding. I remember this, and I was like, wow, dude. You are something else, man. I go over here on this day, and then I go over here on this day. I'm like, oh my goodness. Right? Why? Because that's how a lot of people rather spend their energy avoiding. They'll spend, David, why is it that people will spend twice as much energy avoiding a task and avoiding the hard work than the hard work would take? Can you explain this to me, David? Explain it.
The only thing that I can think of is this: they make a mountain out of a molehill. Okay,
that's the only thing I can think of.
And that's the only thing I can think of too is that they feel like the problem is too big or that the mountain is too big. Something is clouding them from actually executing.
Now, I think there's a linchpin in all of this that is the answer to it all, right? So we can say, oh, what is driving what is making our young people do these things? Why are we seeing this in our society? Well, go on over to, you could do it at Remnant Watch and type in the word pastor, just pastor, and see how many articles come up with pastors that got arrested.
Oh, yes.
See how many leaders couldn't keep their hands to themselves.
Yeah. Starting to see the fruit.
How many pastors and ministry leaders or school teachers or other people in authority, right? Breach the security, the sanctity of what authority is for.
Right.
For their own benefit.
Ugh.
How many of them do you have? That's just the ones that we see. And I mean, the list is long. When you run a search for those articles, like, oh, wow. Yeah. That's a lot of articles that we have covered, just us. That's not everybody. That's just, it's like, wow. Yeah. Okay. And so 1 Peter 5 tells us that we are to be examples to the flock. So my question is, what kind of example did they have to have? Right? What kind of examples have we been passing down that people have been mirroring? And do we need new examples?
Yes, we do.
I think we do. I think that the generation that has gone before us has done its job. It did a great job. There's a lot of things that they brought in. There's a generation rising now. It's a Josiah generation. And they don't care how long you've been in ministry. And they don't care what you did yesterday. You start acting a fool today, they're going to call you out. Right. That's just the way they are. And how many know that they offended that same generational fuerza that Yahuwah brings in, hit in the first century? And there were people that were like, wow, we've been in ministry for, and they really ruffled their feathers. I mean, John the Baptist ruffled more than a few feathers of people that felt like he should be listening to them.
So did Messiah for it. Yes.
You weren't but 30 years old. Who you think you are?
Right. We've been doing this for
whippersnapper.
Yes, we've been doing this for a long time.
You little whippersnapper. Right? But he was right. And that was a Josiah generation right there, right? That was a generation tearing it down. Saying, we're not playing your game anymore. We're not following your lunacy. We see the results. Look, we can barely cast a devil out of this one. Their lunacy is doing nothing but harm, right?
Yes.
So they were calling all these things out. But brethren, I want to tell you, evangelism happened because they had remedy. Oh, I need to preach that.
Come on.
The reason why the Pharisees were mad wasn't because Messiah was bringing in philosophy or a different interpretation of the scriptures. They endured sex with different interpretations of the scripture all the time. No, sir. That was not the reason why they got upset. They were covetous. He was teaching them how to have breakthrough.
Right.
They wanted to keep them poor and under control. Mashiach was coming to set them free.
Come on now.
They wanted to keep them impoverished, poor, destitute, naked, over here needing them.
Well,
okay. Mashiach's coming to set them free, get them out of all these places, get them out of the places where they could be manipulated and controlled, and instead set them into companies where if they learn to work together, I said they'll learn to work together. Supernatural provision will be provided. Hence, the feeding of 5,000 on the side of a hill after putting them in small companies.
Right.
You think he was trying to make a point? What do you think? You think he was making a point, David?
Think he's making a congregational point here?
What do you think? You think we
yes, he is. Hey, listen, man. You can't. This Lone Ranger thing is really it's on a death. Gotta go, man. It really does have to go.
So
I mean, we get nothing accomplished by being scattered.
Yep.
And not being in unity.
And there are many people that like that idea. They think it's great. They think they're super saint. I see guys standing up, you know exactly what I'm talking about, preening on Facebook like, I'm a super saint. I don't fall for any of these tricks that you guys do. I don't have any. No, you guys are all stupid. And I don't even read my Bible.
And all you guys
like, this guy's a blooming idiot.
Too. Right.
You got nobody in his life, nothing. A tornado comes through, he's going to call for help and no one's going to show up. Right. It's sad, but it's real.
It is real.
Your relationships are forged, people. They're forged over time. It takes time to forge those. Yeah, how many of you have thought about the relative that wants to just jump in at the last minute? You know, you guys are prepping for something, whatever it could be. It could be a vacation. It doesn't even have to be the end of the world. It could be just you're going on vacation. Right. And you're prepping for weeks and weeks and weeks. And then at the last second, here comes cousin somebody who ain't done nothing and wants to just jump on board. How do you feel? How do you feel? Go ahead. Tell me how you feel. Go ahead. Talk to me.
You go over there and get in the bag and start doing them dishes, boy.
Man, you want to put them to work. You just like, no, that's not right.
You don't want to, but you will because, you know.
Right.
But yeah, you're right. You know, doesn't want to do any of the work.
Injustice. You're seeing something you know isn't correct.
Right.
And that's why it'll ruin the trip. Some of you will let people on that you shouldn't have, and that ruin the vacation. You should have said no. You would have had a better time. It's true. I'm just telling the truth. I'm not lying. I'm just telling you. It's the way it is. So the question that we all have to ask ourselves, are we going to be real or are we going to keep trying to play this fake thing that doesn't have any fruit to it?
Right. Agreed.
Now, how do we do that? Well, as long as we have these things inverted, we're going to keep producing the bad fruit that we keep seeing.
Yes. Okay.
Absolutely. That's the problem is you have inversion of the principles of the kingdom, of the things that Yahuwah gave us. Each of us gifted in various ways, meant to manifest his berakah, and instead people are using it for selfish purposes.
Yes.
Every attribute, everything that we have is meant to give, as he said, let your light so shine before men that they would see your good work and give kavod to your Father in heaven. To you is the work, to him is the kavod, the glory. Okay, to you is the work, to him is the glory. So trying to get the glory for the work, what are you doing?
You're usurping.
You're doing exactly the violation.
You're
of
skipping
Luke
to the head of the line.
That he warns about. Okay, so what are we seeing in these situations where, for example,
is that Cain spirit?
Well, of course, you're looking to dominate. You're looking to take advantage as opposed to serve. What is the fruit? What are we seeing when we see a story where a pastor, took advantage of a 10-year-old kid or a 12-year-old kid? What are we seeing there? We're watching several things that absolutely horrify us, right? Utilizing authority, utilizing a position of power, a position of trust, utilizing it for their own selfish benefit, not for the benefit of the kingdom. This is literally the opposite of evangelism, right? So it's the opposite side of the spectrum, right? So you need to see the opposite side. You need to see the darkness so you can also see the light. You need both. That's why he says he creates both. Okay?
Right.
And you need to see it so that you can understand what the redeemed purpose of these things for.
Yes.
And that's what I believe, David. I believe that all these things that we have, whether they be, whatever they are, they have a redeemed value, something that he redeems, and then it becomes what he needs it to be.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. That thing you sent or you put on Facebook earlier today is beautiful, man. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful representation of what's can be perverted, but can also be for the better cop, depending on a person's mindset and how they perceive it or how they walk it out.
Well, that's known as a paradigm. So in the way in which you look at the world. So if, for example, you're self-centered, right? And we've all met, and that's what you would say this person is, that guy who took advantage of a child, you can't say anything other than the person was very absorbed in themselves. They certainly were not thinking about the impact they would have on the child, right? So they were only thinking about whatever that benefit they were looking for, whatever, right? So this, of course, is abusive, and we, of course, punish that. In our society now, it's getting deadly. So finally, they're matching Mashiach's absolute, judgment against certain things. And so we agree with that. But we also have to understand that what we're looking at in these situations, what we're looking at throughout our earth, are people that lost their boundaries. People that have lost their understanding of discipline, of lines that cannot be crossed, of what is power for, what is authority for, what is a voice for, what is creative and versus other things, right? Why do you have what are these things for? What are your strengths for? This is one that took me down a rabbit hole. Why do you have strength? What's it for?
It's for the glory of Yahuwah is what it's for. It's what it should be for.
But is strength, is it so you can dominate or intimidate or exploit those around you? Right? Isn't that what we already see in the world? Like people use their strength. And what do? They dominate others, they intimidate, they exploit those who can't fight back, right? They bully, the tyrant, the abuser, right? Strength becomes a weapon for their ego. They're building stuff that's hurting people. They don't care. They don't care, right?
Right.
So what is the redeemed value of strength? What does he give us strength for? Is it to do the same thing? To do exactly like the world? Is that how we work?
No. Quite the opposite.
Strength in our kingdom becomes a shield. The strong stand between danger and the vulnerable. That's the difference. Not because they're asked, but because that's what we are. We're the wall.
And they protect them. They protect the vulnerable.
That's what Mashiach taught me. I can't speak for anybody else, but Mashiach gives me strength so I can protect those that need protection. And he taught me that strength is not measured by who you defeat, but by who you protect.
Come on.
And I believe that. I believe that is what we are really given strength for, is to protect and preserve a man. Not to go out and offensively attack or harm. No. Okay, so so Messiah showed us this, and he had all power. And yet he laid it down. So there's a lot of things. There's a long list of things that I started to meditate. Some of you guys, if you're, I almost feel sorry for you people who are friends with me on Facebook. I got to tell you, you get the musings, you get apostolic musings. I tell you, you get to see how I spend time just meditating on things like, really? let me think about this. And the Ruach comes and sits with me. Like, many of you never thought about how that discipline is where hypocrisy goes to die.
Right.
That the real reason why you're not having breakthrough is not because you don't need one more lesson, you need one more discipline.
That's correct.
You just, you got it in here. You already agree. The problem is you don't know how to get up in the morning and get going. You agree you need to lose weight, but you're not getting up and going in the morning.
That's right.
That's what's missing. Not the
Right.
agreeing with the program. The program you agreed with already. You joined the gym because you agreed.
Right.
You signed up for the form because you agreed.
Right.
You already knew. You already know. You're like, oh my gosh, my heart's going to be, oh, I got to lose weight. I can't go around like this. I'm 5, whatever, and I'm,
Right.
whatever it is, everybody tells themselves, the stories. Everybody does this, right? And they're like, oh my gosh, I'm, 100 pounds overweight. I got to stop this. Okay. So I know. It's a problem. I do. This is going to be bad for you. I know.
Right. What are you going to do about it? Yeah. That's the real question.
Discipline is the place that hypocrisy goes to die.
That's correct.
Not teaching. You don't need one more teaching. Oh, can you just
Not even agreement. Not even agreement. It's not even about agreement.
No, it's not. It's not. You need to just do it.
Just do it. I mean, hey, you know what? Nike may be a lot of things, but they had that one down.
They had that one right. Just do it. Just do it.
Just do it. Just do it.
That's what endurance is for, by the way. Why are you commanded to have endurance? This is part of the New Testament. New Testament. You're supposed to endure persecution like a good soldier.
Yes.
Okay, that doesn't sound like you're having fun. Endurance is used for in the world is used for stubbornness, pride, refusing to change when you should, refusing, saying, I'm not going to do that. Well, I'm not going to do that. Well, I'm not going to do that. The hardness that masquerades as strength. It's fake.
Yes.
Whereas the redeemed endurance is the discipline of the soldier who cuts himself, who deals with his own issues. Not enduring because you're too proud to quit, enduring because the mission matters more than your comfort. A good soldier does not endure for personal glory, nor does he pursue personal glory. He endures because the battle is real and the stakes are eternal. That's why. See, when you got it on straight, when you have it on straight, you don't make those kinds of mistakes because you got it on straight. Now, does everybody have it on straight? The answer is no. And all of you looking for the perfect fellowship, the perfect assembly, okay? If you happen to find it, don't join it because you will ruin it. Okay?
Because nobody is perfect. Right.
That's right. We're all flawed. So don't go looking for perfect. Look for a place where they need your type to snap in, and your flaws happen to be just the perfect spot.
Yes.
You have a few strengths to cover them, and they got the right strength to cover your flaws.
That's right.
And you're like, oh, thank you, Father. I got some friends now because I'm really not good at this and this and this. But
I'm good at this and this.
Right. But I am good at this and this, and they need that. This worked out perfectly. Wow. Imagine that. Yeah, sweetheart. You're a jigsaw puzzle. You ain't the whole thing onto yourself. You just one piece of a jigsaw puzzle. Trying to act like you're the whole thing.
Oh. I heard him now.
Okay, you trying to act like you're the whole puzzle.
You're not the whole puzzle. Nobody's the whole puzzle. The whole puzzle is Messiah. He's the whole puzzle. Come on now. He's the only one.
We can just end right there. We end the broadcast right there. Because Messiah is it, okay?
He's it. That's it.
And how many of you caught the video that we posted about the difference between honesty and transparency? How many of you caught that? Honesty will tell you, yeah, this is where I was. Yep, you're right. Yes, that's where I went to this place and I did such and so. Okay, that's honest. Yes. Transparency is telling you before I went.
Come on.
Honesty is answering the question correctly, okay, so that you can deal with somebody's doubts. Transparency is removing the doubt before it grows.
That's right. Oh, by the way, before we get started, A, B, and C.
Right. Oh, I'm leaving and hey, I'm going to be, and I'm going to, and then I'm going to. and then I'll be back home. That's full transparency. That's beyond honesty. That's a different level. Okay? So people are trying to cut corners because they don't want to hold themselves accountable to a higher level of walking. But it's only in this higher level of walking after Messiah, after his manner, that you can bring forth fruit that remains. Otherwise, you're a tinkling cymbal and a sounding brass.
That's correct.
Amen. And people need to be protected when you're strong, because sometimes you're not strong, right? Sometimes you're weak. Like you're like, oh man, I'm hurt. That man on the Samaritan Road, man, normally been a real tough guy. He just had a bad day.
Yeah.
And he might be just the right kind of friend to make too. Like, hey, let me help you get back on your feet, because when you're back on your feet, I might need your help someday.
That's right. That's
and
right.
You're back on your feet, and now he's like, hey, you took care of me. Anybody messes with you, I'm coming for him.
That's
right?
That's right. Yep.
That is the way, I believe, the old school way that real alliances and friendships and connections were forged.
Yes.
It don't happen because you all went and sat down in some hall somewhere.
Come on.
That Greek method doesn't work. Did the Greeks survive? No. Well, then don't follow their method.
Yep.
Where are they now? Ruling the world? No. Well,
it happened to me on Sunday, man. I couldn't make the broadcast, and it's like, okay, so what I do, I make sure I remedied the situation and be back strong for today.
Yep. He had me concerned. I'm like, what's going on? He said, I don't feel well. And then I called him the next morning. He said, I went to war. You should have seen him. He was in full commando gear. He was like, I'm taking on parasites. He was in full fatigue mode, man.
And I'm sure first heard you were like, are you sure about that? Yeah, no, I am sure. I'm real sure.
But we talk about it, and then you got to do it, right? So we talk about certain things, and then there's the follow through. Now, how many of you have been hurt? I want you to be honest now. Have been hurt not because someone promised you something, but because their follow through did not match the exuberance of their projection, right? Their follow through is where we get offended. Is that not where we all get offended? Is it not the point at which we all go, ooh, okay? Why? Because what we're all looking for is disciplined people who do what they say.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we grew up with them, but what we forgot about them disciplined people is they were also the people out till 4 a.m. because they made a promise. They're also the people that, sometimes put themselves at the hazard because they made a promise. Okay. Right. There's also the people that you could count on at any time, day or night, because they made a promise. So we remember the positive side of that, but we may not remember them changing a tire in the rain.
Right. That's correct.
So that price of integrity that people gave themselves back in the day came at a price, a real price.
It's expensive.
And some young people today are actually, David, I'm going to tell you something that's going to blow your mind. There's some young people today that are paying the price for it. They're walking up correctly.
Oh, yes.
I see them. They're mowing lawns for free.
Come on.
I see them. I'm telling you, there are people getting it, and they're recognizing the real connection of life is not monetary or societal or status based, but the real connections of life happen at heart to heart. It is when you touch a person's heart that you really have a connection.
Come on.
I mean, I've seen some stories that'll take your heart about young men who helped an old lady, right? And now that young man walks by that house, and no matter what, he stops to say hello to that old lady. And they have
that's now. That's beautiful, man.
They have a bond now, okay?
Yes.
And this is what I'm trying to say is we don't bond in the way that the world tried to make us think we did. We bond through our hearts. And it has to be emotional. It has to be tender. And when you try to force that, when you try to force that on people, I mean, that's monstrous. It's monstrous. Okay? There's a huge difference between people who chase butterflies and people upon whom butterflies will land. We need to be the latter. Amen.
Absolutely.
We need
Amen.
to be harmless in everything that we do. And so this is what then they say, now this is attractive. Now this is the Kodashim. Now this is what I went looking for.
Yes.
Okay. People that aren't trying to game me or take advantage of me or, do anything like that, but are here for my edification to make me a better saint.
Come on. Bangarang.
Okay. Now, David, the question is, how do we pull this off?
It's like this. I believe, I think you were right on it. Basically when you said, no disrespect to the older people, but
right.
we really need to be concentrating and teaching and modeling for the next generation.
That's where we're at. I'm not going to apologize for that. Moshe did not apologize. Yahusha and Caleb did not apologize for putting their focus on the next generation. The previous one had been judged. They had no interest. They didn't want to walk in. They were going to die in the wilderness. The people that got the message, the generation that got the message, were trained differently because they were going this way. Okay? Right. So these two are not going to the same destination. So there's no point in mincing words. Plain and simple. And young people are where he is now moving in his Ruach. He is moving toward them and to move them for what he is bringing in next.
There's Josiah generation.
I'm not talking about what he brought in before. What he brought in before is already here. I'm talking about what he's bringing in next. And if you don't stop and consider that next is what he's always on, you will always be on what he did before. Okay? Right. Which is great for memorial and great for praise and great for worship, but you have to use it as pattern for next. The point of teaching you these was so that you would anticipate what he's doing next.
Next, right?
So when he starts to move among young people, you say, I see what you're doing. I see you're raising up leaders with backbone.
I love that vision.
Who ain't afraid to tell people, I don't care what you're saying. That's not what it says right here. I'm reading this book. The blessing is described. Where is it? I'll wait here. Show me the receipts. Where the blessing at? Don't lie to me. I don't see it. It's got a checklist. Yeah. I said it's got a checklist.
Mm-hmm.
Checklist.
Yes.
That's hard to get around, folks.
And it's sad that you don't see it. It really is.
Because they're not looking for it in the right places. It exists. It is manifesting, but they don't know where. When they see where, then they will say, how did you do that? Yes. And when they ask, how'd you did that? You are not now looking at just doctrine, tossed by every wind of doctrine. You are now going to work your way backward from results only. This is the result we were looking for. What did you follow? Now you've eliminated every other doctrine and you only need to look at success.
Bingo. Absolutely.
Isaiah 46:10. He declares the end from the beginning and from ancient times of things that are not yet done, saying, my counsel shall stand. So what was his counsel? Let's take a look at his counsel. What did he tell them in the first century when he pours out his Ruach? Does he tell them to go be Lone Rangers?
No.
Does he add to the Lone Ranger Corps such as should be saved?
Nope.
No?
Nope. I'm sure that word is assembly. Yes.
And he says, forsake not the what?
Assembling
of yourselves together. And he adds to the assembly such as should be saved. So pretty strong theme going on there from one end of the New Testament to the other.
No ambiguity there.
No ambiguity about it. You want to put some ambiguity in there, you go right and get ahead with that. But it ain't there in the natural, in the sense of the scripture. Everything is bringing people together. They were built. And what did they find out when they got together? I'll tell you what they found out. I'll tell you exactly what their experience was. They found out that he was releasing to them generational wealth. They found out that they would become the envy of other communities because their unity caused them to operate at a different level of efficiency.
Right.
They found out that by obeying Yahuwah's word, they would be the head, not the tail, above, not beneath.
Shocking.
Shocking things began to happen. They started to lend to other nations and not borrow. Yeah, in the New Testament. I know.
That's
New
crazy.
Testament, right? And you're like, wait a minute. So what were they doing? They were doing it right. They were on the line. Qumran was on the line at East Cape, by the way. So they were doing it right on the other side. So you had to cross to the other side, but they were on the line. And so they were doing the things that he gave them to do. And they were exactly what Mashiach told them. He said, when you see these things, run to the hills and get out of here. Get away from these. Get out of Mochaccino land.
Right. Come out of here, my people.
Judgment's going to fall on Mochaccino land here, so get out of here, right? This is my paraphrase for all these, wonderful cities like Sodom and Gomorrah, right? Get out of there, right?
I love your paraphrases, man.
What happens when you get out of there? What happens? He can protect you now, right? He can protect you in this little enclave, your little Goshen over here. He can protect and provide for you. He can also correct you by yourself, too. So he doesn't have to correct other people. So there's both sides. It's a double-edged sword. Remember that.
Always is. It always is. Yes.
So there's a point to this, David, and we are going somewhere with this. And young people need better exampling, don't they?
Yes, they do. Yes, they do.
So first of all, we need a bunch of guys willing to be examples. You ready for this? You ready? Come on, step up.
Come on.
Who's ready?
Let's do this.
Captains.
Come on, Grandpa Brigade.
Captains.
Come on.
I only
Stand
need
up.
20 of them. I don't need 5,000. I only need 20. Thankfully, I don't have a huge number I got to fill because this is going to be a big deal. Let's tell them, David. So how do we think? Well, as Yahuwah is moving in our hearts, he's moving us to support the young people, right? To support everything we have, pour it into them.
Next. Yes.
Right.
Kingdom next. Yes.
And we have a lot. So we're going to pour all of that into them.
It's a big vision, too, about it.
To be clear. So let's talk about that, David.
Okay.
How are we getting that done? Let's talk about that.
We're going to do it with unity and harmony and one accord, and we're not going to do it any other way. It's not going to be with the Ranger program.
There it is.
I mean, at some point we just have to, come together and do it. I mean, I know
that's just not, we can do this. We can say these things that are platitudes. We need to work together. We need to be a team. Yeah. You need to buy land with an address.
Yeah.
Let's talk about physical things, David. We need to buy things. We need to do things. Spend money.
Right.
Okay. How are we going to do this, David? How are you going to pull this off?
By your obedience, by your faith and believing and doing things the right way, his way, and not trying to make your own little way here with your own little rules and all that. No, it's all about him. And when we get to that point, that's when we can move in unity, harmony, one accord, one mind.
One thing we can't do is we can't just
any other way, guys.
You have already seen spontaneous. Take a look at spontaneous. How did it work out? Take a look. Spontaneous. You got clinics all across the country that are doing homeopathic remedies. Do you? Let me see them. I want to see. Where are they? No. How about no, I said all across the country. Okay. So where are they? Oh, you can't find them.
Right.
I see. So all these things that we have remedies for, all these things that we know all this, but we're not going to do anything. We're just going to stand on the sidelines, let people just
hydroponics.
We're just going to know. How about nutrient dense food? We're just going to. We know about it, but we're just going to skip it. Just
no.
Just not bother with it.
No.
Okay, we could feed people quality food, right? We could, but we're going to just.
Let's just skip it. Yeah.
Just not bother. I know about it. I know it's a good idea, but not going to do it.
It's a fantastic idea.
Fantastic idea. Just not.
It's fantastic. I mean, it's out there. I mean, that's
great.
big.
Hydroponics, aquaponics. Oh, great idea.
Aquaponics.
Not
yes.
Not
yes.
Growing our own cattle. Oh, that's a great idea. Not going to bother. No.
Yeah.
Not going to bother. Just going to skip it. We're going to wish for it, though. Hope somebody does. Is that how things work in the world? We'll just sit around and wish.
Or, how about the grocery stores that sell nutrient-dense food?
Oh, we need a grocery store? Oh,
yes, we do.
If we actually had one that, sold that hydroponic food and that fresh beef and maybe some poultry we knew was actual poultry.
And the restaurant right next door that does the same thing.
No me diga.
Yes.
How would you do that? You would feed people. Or would you give them the wrong impression that you actually care about them? Why would you want to give them the impression you care? Why would you want to do that? You might catch stragglers this way.
Come on.
You might
that's the way.
People.
You know that's the way we're made.
Oh my goodness! You're gonna feed these people?
Absolutely gonna feed.
Wait, only where? In a basement somewhere, right?
No.
Some little hovel in one little town. You're gonna say you checkpoint.
That's a beautiful 5-star restaurant.
Plan? What is the plan, David? Tell us the plan.
That is the plan. The plan is to do all these things that we just got through talking about.
That's right.
It's about making establishing the flag, establishing an assembly.
Where, David? Tell them where, David. Starting in Redding, California, upwards in Redding, California. Come on, David.
From Redding, California to Jacksonville, Florida.
We have to go down through Palm Springs. So go straight down from Redding to Palm Springs. Every 200 miles. We'll have a spot. I don't have them all mapped, but you'll get a map.
180, 200, somewhere in there.
Somewhere between 180 and 200 miles. So it's a 3-hour drive between them, roughly.
Sure.
So that they're not too far apart, which is really important to us that they not be too far apart.
Yes.
And you could drive easily. A family with children in the car could easily drive between one location and the other.
There it is.
Very easily. Now, that's one of the big reasons right there. And within a gas tank.
Yes.
Definitely within a gas tank of each other.
What problem is that? What problem is that solving?
That's what I've been trying to get you to talk about. Tell me what problem is solved.
The problem solving is this. Is that this is what is going to bring about unity, harmony.
Thank you.
This is to unfracture the fracture.
They need examples.
So easy for you to go anywhere 180 miles. And you're going to go across the whole country.
Hang in there, Paul. You're in a great spot. We're going to be talking to you at the top of the line. Look, we got a brother already at the top of the line. Look at that. See that?
There you go.
It's like a train line. Think of it like a train line. It goes from top of California all the way down across the United States. Now, why does it matter? Well, for shipping reasons as well, we have warehouses at each location. We will have schools at each location, schooling and training in each location because all of you need to retrain for a incoming digital economy that you're just now figuring out ain't going anywhere. Right. So you need to retrain for that. Young people are going to lead the way there. They are not going to follow you. They are going to be leading. And, that group 19 to 25 right now is the hot group that I see his hand on. And they are going to reshape the world. Right. And so if you're up here thinking you're trying to hang on to the old analog world, you're fighting a losing battle. You got a bucket in the Titanic. You're wasting your time. Okay. And so what I sense by the Ruach is he's putting us in a position to influence that new shift as opposed to waiting for it to occur. Okay. As opposed to sitting back going, oh no, what happened to us? This is the time the saints need to say, I'm done wringing our hands. We're jumping into the middle of this move. And by the Ruach of Yahuwah, we are going to come out in front of it. Because we have watched and stood on the sidelines of every advancement in society out of fear. And I see a courage coming up in young people that are saying, I'm not afraid. We're going to use these tools for the gospel. We're going to preach the good news. We're going to share the real intention. Okay. And we're done with perverted beauty. The young people are figuring out. I'm hearing them saying, beauty's not for vanity. It's not for manipulation. It's not for personal gain. What? They're pushing back.
Yes.
They're pushing back. And now they're saying, that's true. You wouldn't make me beautiful just so I could be somebody's thing to look at, but to draw you to the gospel, to be that which we all look at and say, that is what he is bringing us toward.
Right.
Didn't you not say something about beautiful are the feet of those who bring good news?
Did
he put the word beautiful in there?
Oh, he sure did.
He said, he put the word beautiful in there.
Oh, he did.
He's telling you something about how he's thinking.
Mm-hmm.
The gospel and beautiful go together, sweetheart.
Yes, 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 yes. It is time to start. It's time to start talking about the gospel and start being the gospel.
That's right. But good news has to have fruit. And so it is not good news to just tell somebody a recipe that you think might work. You need to demonstrate. Okay. And so when a team comes from one of these locations and goes into their community and impact that community, how many know that every lawn they mow, every family they impact, every house they paint, whatever they do, now that gospel had teeth. Now people are listening.
That's right.
Because talk was cheap until you showed up.
That's right. Come on.
Okay. And how many know we need a nation that remembers how to show up?
They can keep their word. Yes. Yes.
Listen, integrity is a gift you give yourself. And so people have to remember that, and that's something that we can walk in. But brethren, that is up to us to model for them and to facilitate. Now, those of us that are at the north end of your life, you got resources that Yahuwah has given to you. None of you will be investing what I will invest. None of you. And any of you want to sit on your hands, go right ahead. I'll do it all by myself. The king will provide it for me, and I will do it. And so I don't mind that. Pray for us. But here's the thing. This is real. This is going to last many, many generations if we do it right. Or if we just blow it off and say, oh, well, then we already see where they're taking everyone. We can already see the trajectory.
Oh, absolutely.
You want to know where your grandchildren are going to be, your great-grandchildren? Just watch the graph. Or we can move in the opposite direction by the grace of the King in accordance with his word. Because that's what he said. So y'all are waiting on a move of Yahuwah. Yahuwah is waiting on a move of you. He's waiting on the move of you.
He's been saying it for a while.
Y'all waiting for you to move.
Oh, yeah. He was waiting on me. He was waiting on me to move. Right? Don't.
Then you're going to see people get saved for real. They're going to get fully saved. They're going to get saved for the whole route because they now realize that gospel's true. The reason why they weren't coming is because you had fakes preaching the gospel with no fruit. They can't make fire fall. They can't. Their word don't stick. There ain't no disciple because there ain't no discipline.
Hype's gone in about an hour
because there's no disciple.
Yeah.
Okay. So the fruit doesn't manifest. So all you have is braggadocious nonsense.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't do anybody any good. But when you drive up to a building or when you drive up to a location and you see faith manifested, right? When you drive up, and by the way, each one of these have a gas station. So you get gas there for a reason. We bought the gas station is actually the first thing we buy is the gas station. First thing. Why? Why do you think we want a gas station? Anybody want to tell me why we want to have gas stations every 200 miles all the way across the country? Somebody tell me why. Go ahead. Tell me why. Why would I want tanks in the ground?
Come on.
This should take you 5 minutes. It should take you. I protect people. That's what who we protecting? Who we concerned about? Who gonna make sure? We ain't trying to worry about the world, are we? Who we gonna protect?
Come on, man. Dakota Sheen, bro.
What does he give you power to get wealth for? So that he can establish his covenant upon the earth. Who's he protecting? His people.
His people.
His people. Get on board with what he is doing.
Or called by his name. Yes.
And those who thought that we were telling you all these things as fundraisers, please keep your money. We are not telling you this for a fundraiser. We do not care. If you do not want to give at the altar, that is your business.
No, we're just showing you
that
the
is your business. You want to stand up and just watch, feel free. Buy a ticket. Go ahead. Be a spectator. Don't care. That's on you. I'm just going to tell you what we're going to do, and then we're going to do it.
That's right.
And
Just
then
laying out
you'll see it. Because young people need examples that call their shot to center field and hit it. Amen. David, last words before we let them go.
Woo! That's beautiful, my brother. I love every word of that. I can't wait to see that happen. Can't wait to be a part of that. And I'm excited about it because, you know, we've dreamed about this thing since we were young men, wondering when we were going to see this happen in our lifetime. And then we finally realized that it was going to have to come from us, from within us. So, yes, I love the plan. I love you guys. Yada Yahuwah, Baruch Atah, Baruch you, Yahuwah, and love you guys.
Amen.
Shalom.
It is a good plan, and I do believe, thank you, David, I do believe that New Kingdom Next is a powerful concept, constantly focusing our attention on what is next. I do believe that is the will of Yahuwah. I also believe that each one of these locations that we're going to be establishing, I'm not sure exactly how many there are. We were at 12, and then we shortened the distance between them, so I think we're at 16 different locations right now, something like that. And each one of these is going to be points at which people can make contact with the remnant, get resources, get help, get ministry, get baptized, whatever they're going to need to take them from where they are to where they need to go. And how many know the rubber meets the road right there? That's where people need help. They don't need help that video is great, but how many know that we need to find ways to reach people where they really are? And this transition is not going to be pretty. Some people are going to do great. I'm not going to say there aren't going to be some that are going to do great. Maybe you're one of those that are going to do fantastic. Good for you. I'm glad you're positioned properly in this economy. A whole lot of people are not. And so they need help. And that's where I believe the remnant come in. That's where I believe we are given strength for our brethren's sake. And I do pray that those of you that are seeing that vision, that are getting on board, will not only just reach out, but literally give yourselves over as living sacrifices to stand with those that Yahuwah is now raising up. I believe it's a divine call to stand with the generation that is rising now. And so that's a call we intend to answer. Well, that's it for today. I pray this broadcast has been a barakah, a blessing to each and every one of you. And we're thankful for all of you who stand together with our house here at the 12 Stone Altar on the line of the East Gate at New Kingdom. And I pray wherever you are, the barakah is upon you. May Yahuwah Baruch each and every one of you. And remember, Yahusha HaMashiach, he alone is King of Kings. Amen.